All right, guys, I think we're live. Warming up. Fresh snow, but warming up. That is the story of Revi right now. This is actually the first live stream I've done for a couple of weeks. So conditions wise, like so much has actually gone on here at the resort. So it's kind of quite a lot to bring you up to speed with. First of all, hope you guys are all doing well on a Saturday evening. Be sure to get your comments in the section below, and I will read them out if you're watching it live. If you're watching it on the replay afterwards, just put them in the regular comment section and I will definitely respond to them. Yeah, the conditions right now in Revelstoke, we've had a period of severe cold for about 5 to 6 days now. Yeah, it was not your normal cold temperatures that you would have here in Revelstoke. So we had the sort of on the Alpine, it was anywhere between -25 to -34, like real severe cold, not the type of weather which people from British Columbia are used to. And so yeah, last weekend there wasn't a lot of skiing to be done, to be honest. I actually kind of used it for a bit of an admin day, getting some things done, around the place that you kind of were putting off from Christmas and New Year. But let me give you a rundown on the conditions, what we're at the moment with the base, because things have really improved gradually with the snow that we've had. In the last 7 days, we've had about 34 centimeters of snow, and it's good snow. It's soft snow. It's dry. I was up there this morning just for something a little bit work related, but the feel of the snow underneath the skis was really good. You could really, not worry too much about, putting an edge in. The base depth right now has gone to 150 centimeters. So gradually, week by week, we've been improving across the mountain, which is what we need. Yeah, top to bottom, it's been really good. They've I can't remember from the last live stream whether or not they had opened all the way to the bottom. I think they might have done. But what they've been doing is grooming a lot more of those middle intermediate runs. So the likes of Snow Rodeo, Woolly Bully, Fella Buncher, Fast Freds, all these ones around the mid mountain there are now in real good condition. And super fun to rip it up if you're not a fan of the steeper stuff. The bowls, however, have been just and the trees have just been getting better and better by the day. I have not been able to get out in them this week just because I've been swamped with work, but my intention this weekend is to let it rip in those areas and bring you guys some good footage on the vlog come early sometime next week. So yeah, base depth of 150 centimeters. We've had around 34 centimeters over the last couple of days, and gradually, bit by bit, it's got a little bit warmer. So that's hence the wording in the title there. I just actually did a bit of a drive out. It's -6, which felt so warm compared to what we've had lately. But in reality, that's kind of normal for Revelstoke conditions. So yeah, just trying to get a little bit of perspective on those snow conditions. The forecast over the next couple of days, it was snowing outside just there, a little bit of flurries, nothing too significant, but that is scheduled to continue through the night and into the morning. Going to be bringing at least 5 more centimeters. So for those of us skiing tomorrow morning, should be a nice fresh top up on top of everything else that we've had. And yeah, today was very, very busy on the mountain. I don't know if anybody who's watching was on there today. A lot of people were hitting the bowls, and yeah, there was some good vibes up there. The sort of the light flurries is what's set to continue over the next couple of days. We're seeing a similar maybe 5 centimeters on Monday and another on Tuesday. It's then going to sort of taper off around the middle of the week. Although it looks like heading into the back end of the week, we're going to get slightly colder again, nothing too major, but potentially with 10 centimeters on Saturday. That far out, I'd take with a pinch of salt and hit the refresh button come midweek because, yeah, it has that tendency to maybe change its mind. One thing I probably need to throw back to is about 10 days ago when we had the surprise 30 centimeters. And that was just before we went into the super cold snap. And that made such a huge impact on the conditions on the mountain. It was super late coming in the forecast, but really improved the on mountain, the grooming ability at the very top half of the mountain, and then allowed us to start opening up the lower sections. And with the cooler weather as well, they're able to start working on the cannons as well for those lower sections. So yeah, it's been real good. In terms of the alpine temperature, it is warming up. Like, we're looking at only around -2 to -3 over the remainder of the weekend here. So that makes a massive difference on the conditions. We're sticking with that regular south wind, only about 10 to 15 an hour. So it's not as strong wind as we've maybe had with that super icy cold weather. I'm so glad that's done. We have that every single year. It's either sort of around December to middle of January, no later really than mid-Jan, and then it always tends to bring snow afterwards, which is fantastic. So yeah, I'm glad we're on the other side of that. In terms of sort of lower down, this kind of light snow is continuing as well in the valley, although they're saying potentially in the morning it might get a little bit warmer, around freezing, so we might get like that freezing drizzle just down here in the valley, but then getting cooler again as we go into next week. So there's not going to be like a massive thaw, which I think was my concern when I maybe heard, oh, it's warming up. And I think it's just warming up in comparison to what it's been like. Like, it's been pretty consistent around the sort of between -10, 12 to 25 for the last 10 days. And yeah, I'm glad it's over. I did hear, though, it was quite interesting. So we've got a local radio station here right in the heart of the Columbias, Stoke FM. They had a representative on from Avalanche Canada the other day who was just talking a little bit about how the conditions in the backcountry areas are starting to change a little bit, and how this increase now in the temperatures is going to sort of affect that snowpack a little bit, especially with the consistent snow. So it might be hiding some layers to watch out for, especially on the southern facing runs, because during that cold snap it was clear blue skies on that, so almost like a little bit of sun crust could be hidden under those south facing ones. So definitely one to watch out for. I'm still working on trying to get my AST1 course. It's proving a bit more of a hassle than I had expected. I have now got my bindings, my shift bindings to build on the touring gear, but it's big business in town, the avalanche safety training. And there's multiple companies that you can do it through, but everything right now is like fully booked through the end of January and possibly into February. So I'm holding off for the time being. Well, I say holding off, I'm on waiting lists. And yeah, but my friends tell me that some of the best touring in Revelstoke and Rogers Pass comes a lot later, comes into March time, late Feb. So not missing out for the time being. For anyone who is watching, thanks very much. Make sure to get your comments in. If you've been skiing at Revelstoke recently, how was it? Be sure to let me know. I'm keen to know how you guys have been. A couple of the people have been commenting on the videos about it. It seems like they've had a good time. And yeah, I'm a bit gutted really, because my days off have not lined up with the recent heavy snows. And I've only been out sporadically, so not really been able to take full advantage. The plan this weekend is to do the greatest hits. I want to do all those, the main glades on the Stoke side, potentially push into Montana. We'll see. I had a buddy who was in there today. Montana Bowl, he said, was getting pretty tracked out. So yeah, we will have to play that one by ear. Who's going to be the first to comment in tonight then? Let's see, who have we got? I can see there's 4 or 5 people already watching. But yeah, highlighting the backcountry conditions again, like just reading off the report from the resort website saying that there's fresh storm slab that's formed in the alpine and tree line elevations. So watch for changing conditions as the temperatures are rising and the sun is going to be coming out. So I think they are forecasting a little bit of that Revy inversion, which is going to be nice. We've not seen that for a couple of weeks. I've been telling lots of people who've been visiting about it, so I'm hoping they get to see it. There's a couple of times I think I've been thinking already about how this season's snowfall is faring to like the previous winters here at Revelstoke. Because yeah, it's definitely been I mean, since I've been here, it's been the slowest start. There's like on the resort website, there's like a tracker where you can actually compare it as a graph to all the other different years where we've had the snow. Right now, it's almost like a mirror image of last season, sort of sitting around total of 455 centimeters that we've had altogether. But the good news was that from sort of this point going into February, we had consistent snowfall, especially in February and March last year. So I'm hoping we get that. We're a couple of weeks away from the busiest period. So right now it is relatively quiet here, which is nice, especially as the whole mountain is kind of opened. And yeah, I've been enjoying a mixture of runs. The sort of the most recent ski vlog, I was tearing up all those glades in the Ripper. They looked really good today, although I couldn't go in, unfortunately. But yeah, just every once in a while, especially when you're taking a lunch break from work and you only get like a couple of runs in, like it's been nice to kind of just let rip again on those mid-mountain groomers just to change things up. This might be a bit of a quiet, quick live stream, this one. I don't know. No, we'll see. I always say that, and then we end up going live for about an hour or an hour and a half. So Yeah, definitely a bit of a quiet one this evening, guys. We'll give it a couple of minutes, see if anyone else pops up. Yeah, maybe we just call it. Maybe we just a nice, quick, short one this evening. There's normally a few regulars who tend to come on around this time once we get sort of 15 minutes in. But even if you've not been to Revelstoke, where have you guys been recently? Have you done any skiing anywhere? What's the snow been like? Have you got any good runs in particular? I'm keen to know. It's a good place to kind of share how your week's been if you've done any skiing. All right, guys, I'm gonna not call it there. Obviously, a bit of a quiet one this evening. Hope you guys are all having a nice Saturday evening. But keep an eye out on the channel over the next couple of days. I'm bringing you some content from Revelstoke, from hopefully some fun riding. So take care, guys, and I will see you soon.